Morning, Shelley. Good morning. Welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 8th of December. So let's have a look at the risk events this today. Mostly it's going to be surrounding the Canadian dollar here. We have got Lagarde speaking at 8:15 this morning, due to deliver pre-recorded welcoming remarks at the 5th. Okay, that might not do too much then. But you never know. Someone, I was just reading this. Traders attempt to decipher interest rate clues. Well, there you are. I don't think we'll get any such clues. Up, down, nothing. Right. Anyway, central banks then. Canadian dollar 3 o'clock. Then we watch out for the Bank of Canada rate statement, overnight rate. Not expected to do anything different in terms of changing the rates just before Christmas, but there is an expectation of becoming more hawkish in terms of next year. But of course they'll mention the new strain of virus. But either way, with the jobs from last week, etc., it should look like they're on track, and with inflation running as high, they should be talking about interest rate increases, but we'll see. Aside of that, well, we've got the Reserve Bank of Australia governor speaking there at 10:05 this evening. Well, I won't be around to watch that, but due to speak virtual summit audience question. Okay, probably no movement at all. So relatively low risk apart from the Canadian dollar there. Could have a knock-on effect, of course. Let's look at the other markets. So euro yesterday continued its march to the downside against what we saw with the commodity currencies, but it has since it managed to catch a bounce. And okay, coming off a little bit again at the moment. I've drawn a sort of trend line where I see the sort of potential downside, looking at sort of breaks below this the key moving averages here, break off the trend. Maybe that will be an opportunity later. Maybe even wait for that 34 to be broken. There's space in it for the downside. The trend is still strong to the downside in general, but of course this might just come down to the moving averages here and continue the push to the upside. But we'll see how it develops. I'm still sort of on the bearish side on the euro. So that's the euro dollar cable. Cable consolidated again. It had one of those days where it mostly sold off. We saw this selling off where we saw the commodity currencies, as I say, pushing up. Looking a bit soft this morning, just continued down. I've got my trend line already in place here, maybe a bit previous, but I do like to work out where things may be going. Now, if we see a continuation of yesterday's dollar selling, perhaps it might work through, and the pound and the euro also benefit from it to the upside. I'll see how the morning develops a little bit at the moment, and it is a case of just waiting for this morning, as I say, to develop. Just give us a bit more of a clue. Largely, a lot of these markets are still in sort of consolidated phases, and it's patience pays out. Dollar yen here, from a daily point of view, yesterday shooting star into the monthly pivot, and well, when you look at it on the 4 hourly, it's such a mess. There you go. There's the monthly pivot hit yesterday. It tapped and tapped, couldn't get through that area, and has since rolled back a little bit. Maybe if it breaks the low of the current candle, it could be a continuation to the downside. But the more it chops around, the less I'm inclined to do anything with it. Aussie dollar. So the Aussie had a good day again yesterday. It followed through bullish harami effectively. There you are, two candles, the bullish harami, and yesterday confirmed. Some people would only take it on the trigger from where it is now, but it's already gone really. And you can see quite a nice step up there. Not much in the way of retracements, which you tend to see a little bit more. We had this consolidation on Monday night. Yesterday though, that was it. That was the retrace, but it's since pushed up there. a bit more consolidation. Maybe we've got a continuation to be had here with this doji sort of sitting in at 8 o'clock. Okay, so we'll see how things develop, but still looking bullish, but would like to have seen a bit more of a retracement in amongst this, but don't want to be standing in the way. Canadian dollar's a bit more difficult. It corrected itself over the last couple of days as well. Much clearer sort of movement, consolidating where it is at the moment. Could well continue to the downside. Might be a bit of a risky trade this morning at some point to be selling into this. It's looking quite bearish as I'm sitting here looking at this stage. Looks like it just wants to continue to roll down, but it did find a lot of support around that 26.34 area. Admittedly, that was towards the late session and through the Asian session of the markets, but either way, we'll see how things develop there. The expectation, as I say, is a more hawkish outlook from the central bank. Finally, New Zealand dollar. Well, New Zealand dollar managed bit of an outside key reversal bar there. It's made a complete made a new low yesterday, but then completely engulfed the previous body of the bar and pushed up there. It's a bit slower, it's been less favoured, but it does look like it might have some more. It's broken some near-term trend lines. If it can get back above that 50 MA, perhaps then we could see some further upside. It's the 4-hourly 50 or the 60-minute 200, but it's higher lows. One thing I noticed for this market is the chop amongst it. So you get a lot of bars not really doing anything, then it's taken a step up, bit of a retrace through the Asian session there, early point, but again, chop and shove. So be wary of putting, if you're trading the New Zealand dollar, of putting the stops too close, that's for sure. Right, okay, let's have a look at commodities. Morning ahead. Commodities, okay, gold. Almost broke into a bit of Spandau Ballet then when I said that. You're glad I didn't, I know. Gold, yesterday, again, it's sort of, well, pipped a bit lower, but pushed back up. Looking like it's got, but it's just in such a key point here with the 200, the 50, the 21 all bunched up here. Could provide some resistance, makes it a difficult one unless it can get a bit more of a leg up through that area. Just coming down, still haven't touched the monthly pivot. It could be certainly a draw to the upside there, reasonable probability of that being hit at some stage. Whether or not that's today, we'll see, but it has slowed up in its sort of movement lately. Still very volatile at times. Watch those sell-off periods, of course. This could just be a bearish flag in a more bearish market to come, so watch out for that. Oil. So oil picked up a bit. Picked up a bit here into its monthly pivot. Oil now yesterday consolidating and maybe pulling back here. Flaggish sort of pattern. Higher lows coming through. Well, could be seeing a continuation to the upside. We'll see how things flow on that. Okay, that's oil. Right. Okay. It does look on the sort of more bullish side at the moment. It's put the higher lows in. Right. Okay. Switching markets. Let's just switch charts and let's pop the. We'll do the cryptos first. So Bitcoin, let's switch this from an hourly chart. All right, I was looking at what's going on. Struggling a little bit yesterday. Managed to pitch up, but then give it back. I just see it. As I said yesterday, you just see it consolidating around this area here. We really, for me to look at this in any sort of bullish format, would have to be breaking past that trend line that I drew on there, back above its 100-day MA. But where it's sitting at the moment, with the lower highs in here, it still looks like it's leaning on the bearish side. The Ether pushed up. sorry, pushed up. Yesterday sold off. Just looking, it's as I say, it's the favoured one at the moment, of the cryptos. It's not as bearish. It's pushing up at the moment. Maybe it's got a chance to go back up towards those highs there, and at some point, but we'll see. It'll make a much easier journey of Bitcoin, and Ripple, etc. are pushing up as well. But talking of Ripple, very much same case as the Bitcoin there. It's struggling around at these levels. Would need to see something more. I mean, even the sort of trend line that's running across these highs here, break above that, but ideally above that daily 100. Certainly the daily 50. I'd be a bit more bullish at that point, but at the moment, maybe a great place to be buying, or partially buying, but it could still roll further south. Right, let's have a look at the indices this morning. So indices pushing on through here. Solid old evening there. I've been quite bearish, but it has actually broken and looking like it wants to. This wedge is finally probably seeing the end of its days. It's broken out. It's pushing up quite solidly overnight there. Pushed up as well. The Nikkei also pushing up there. Now I might be turning the corner in my thoughts on this the CSI 300. As I say, just looking, well, money's probably pushing somewhere else. Currencies are doing a bit of odd old thing at the moment, and well, we're seeing the consequences of such. Nikkei was seen, the FTSE this morning, brilliant. I mean, yesterday, day before, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, looks like we're pushing up back towards to make new highs at this rate. DAX, similar moves here at the moment, giving up a little bit at the it's slow this morning, but broke out my wedge pattern that I drew there on the lower time frames. But you can see the wedge, it's broken out there quite solidly. Pretty much done the depth of that wedge now. You could be putting fibs on here, and it's probably a 786 retracement, so just watch out for that. It can be quite technically work quite strongly with those with fibs. CAC though pushing up stronger, so it's really the DAX is the weaker partner at the moment. But again, the CAC, it looks like the rate is going here. This too will be making new highs at some point, so very favourable to the equity markets. Same again yesterday with the S&Ps. It sort of all changed. It still was sitting in sort of bearish territory. When I was looking at it yesterday, sort of still got the potential to roll over, but it's changed to course, and probably a new high won't be too far away from the from that either. It's pushing that way again. Equity markets seeing the money flow, the dollar seeing it flow away. So okay, not getting a feed on that. A quick look at the bond market, just to there you go. Bond market staying relatively modest, lower than it has been, so it's not sitting in the 1.5s, 1.6s. So just paves the way for probably a bit of a continuation with maybe dollar selling. Right, that's it for me. I wish you a great day's trading. If you're joining us in the day trading room for a couple of days, just click on the link if you haven't already done so, and you'll get sent some details to join us. Take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.